Other side.
You okay?
He's in the restroom.
Can we have a recommendation to come out of closed session, please? This is the,
So moved. Or
coming out of closed session.
Ms. Morales? Mr. Sawatsky?
yes.
Ms. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Irby?
Yes.
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
We have 5 yes, 0 opposed.
we now need a motion to accept, or I'm sorry, first we have to, hearings officer, hearings officer to start, explain the process and the introduction, what was made.
All right, we had two student hearings, disciplinary hearings. There's a resolution. Whereas the administration of the school district has recommended that the student known to the board to be 188982 be permanently expelled from the Bridgeport Spartan Community School District for the following infraction: fighting, assault, and battery of another person in violation of rule number 21. Whereas the student and their guardians were duly notified of the date, time, and location of their right of a closed hearing and have participated and the same before the Bridgeport Spartan Community School District's Board of Education on December 12th, December 8th, 2025. Now it be resolved that the student known to the board to be 188982 permanently expelled by the Bridgeport Spalding Community School District, including all extracurricular activities and parks and recreation activities held on school grounds for their violation of the district policy and the student handbook, specifically Rule number 21.
Thank you. There is a motion on the table to accept the hearing officer's findings.
So moved.
Support.
And this would be for hearing number 1.
Yes.
Mr. Sawatsky,
Yes.
Ms. Castillo,
Yes.
Ms. Irby,
Yes.
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Ms. Morales.
Yes.
Okay, we have 5 yes and 0 opposed.
Now in the case of expulsion hearing number 2, whereas the administration of the school district has recommended that the student known to the board to be 192127 be permanently expelled from the Bridgeport Spalding Community School District for the following infractions: failure to comply with directions of school personnel, Rule number 16, fighting, assault, and battery on another person, Rule number 21. Whereas the student and their guardian were duly notified on the date, time, and location of their right to a closed hearing and have participated the same before the Bridgeport Spalding Community School District's Board of Education on December 8th, 2025. Now be it resolved that the student known to the board, 192127, is permanently expelled from the Bridgeport Spalding Community School District, including all extracurricular activities and parks and recreation activities held on school grounds for their violation of the district policy and the student handbook, specifically Rule number 16 and 21. Submitted.
We need a motion to accept the hearing officer's findings for hearing number 2, please.
So moved.
Do we have support? Okay.
Mr. Sawatsky,
Yes.
Ms. Castillo,
Yes.
Ms. Irby,
Yes.
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Ms. Morales.
Yes.
5 votes for yes, 0 opposed.
We have no further business in regards to hearings, so at that time, these special meetings are now closed, and we are going to call to order our business meeting for December 8th. And for those, if you can stand, please stand, remove your hats. We're going to do the pledge. 6:09.
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mrs. Bieshke,
Yes.
Ms. Castillo,
Yes.
Ms. Morales,
Yes.
Mrs. Breamsey,
Yes.
Ms. Irby,
Yes.
Mr. Sawatsky.
Yes.
7 members in attendance, 0 members absent.
Thank you. Starting on the agenda, opening statement. Good evening, stakeholders. On behalf of the Bridgeport-Spalding Community School District Board of Education, I want to begin by acknowledging the seriousness of recent developments and the concerns they have raised throughout our community. We recognize that students, families, staff, and district residents expect clarity, stability, and transparency from the Board of Education. And we remain committed to fulfilling that responsibility. Recently, the board approved a resolution placing Superintendent Mark Whelton on paid administrative leave pending the completion of an independent review. This action was taken not as a disciplinary measure, nor as a predetermined judgment, but as a procedural step to allow for a thorough, impartial examination of matters at question. If the board chose not to act on these matters, it is our right, but kept in mind,
But we represent.
it is also our right to ensure the district, excuse me, we're gonna have order, please, until after the statement.
Ma'am, any.
Thank you.
Any conversation into the termination, any conversation into the investigation of Mr. Walton?
Yep,
Yes.
please, let's
Be,
finish this.
In closed session pursuant to MCL 15.
In accordance with legal and ethical guidelines, we are not able to discuss specific details related to personnel matters at this time. This protects the integrity of the review process and the rights of all individuals involved. We understand that the lack of publicly available information can be frustrating. However, it is essential that we follow appropriate protocols to ensure fairness, accuracy, and due process. Once the independent review is complete and the board is legally permitted to share any or more information in general, things will be reviewed accordingly as necessary. The board is also aware of the recall petitions filed regarding several board members. We respect the democratic rights of community members to engage in this process. At the same time, we want to reaffirm that every decision made by each individual board member is guided by what we believe to be in the best long-term interest of the district and its students. Board operations, including contract considerations, evaluations, leadership decisions, are complex and governed by state law, district policy, and the responsibility we hold as elected officials. We also acknowledge the passion, advocacy, and involvement of parents, community members, and staff.
And students.
We do not take lightly in the trust that our voting constituents have placed in us. Our focus today and every day is to provide a safe, supportive, and high-quality educational environment for all Bridgeport-Spalding students. We ask for the community's patience as the review process continues and for your continued support of our students, staff, and all community members. Thank you. Citizen participation. The board meets and conducts school business in public. Ma'am, public is invited to watch and listen to the Board of Education deliberate and vote on the agenda items scheduled for action and discussion. Although the Board of Education meets in public, this is not a meeting for the public to participate. It is a meeting for the 7 members of the Board of Education to conduct their business. If there are citizens in the audience who wish to be recognized by the Board of Ed for the purpose of making a statement or asking a question, this is the appropriate place on the agenda. Citizens should fill out the public card, give it to the board president prior to the start of the meeting. Please step to the podium, state your name, and proceed with your statement or question. Per board policy, each person will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak. No response will be given at this time. This is not a time for making complaints about employees. Employee complaints should be referred to the administration in writing.
Ma'am,
Are you ready?
ma'am, the lady that was up here when Amy was speaking, can you come back up here for me, please?
Well, that is not a board policy, and you need to understand, you need to keep
Ma'am,
decorum.
what's your
You need
name?
to follow.
What's
the
your name,
board.
ma'am?
Do not.
What's
you
your
know
name,
what?
ma'am?
Gina Gold.
Tammy, you can.
No.
And who are you?
Order. You need to get business.
And who are
done.
you? And who are you?
Yes, ma'am, my name is Gina Goldfaden. I'm the
So,
attorney for
this
Mr. Whelton,
is-
and we're asking, I believe it's already probably been caught, but we are asking that any conversation regarding.
Are you in here so you
the
can be first?
investigation-
We can do your name.
Sure.
Okay. What is your first
Regarding the
name?
investigation or the suspension be discussed in closed session, as is his right under MCL 15.
We are not discussing.
Okay.
You started
this
bringing
time.
it up, so I need to preserve that
Did you
issue.
say Gina
My name is Gina.
McLeod?
My name is not Nicole. That's okay, that's all I will sit back down and allow for public comment, but I want to put that out there for whether there is going to be further
So
conversation.
first of all, hold on, we need to have order for this.
Yes,
You know
yes,
what,
we
Tammy,
You know what?
you are
Amy?
out of
You don't
order.
care
Stop
nothing about
because
the-
you don't know. Stop. You are out of order.
I went out of order as you.
Let's pass
She
around.
had the right to come
These are
up and
the-
tell me
those
what
are
she.
not at this
She does.
time. We're going to
She
follow.
does. She has the right to speak her mind and to tell us what she feels, even if you don't like it or
Follow.
not.
It has nothing to do with your.
Everybody has that right of speech.
Yes,
That's all.
everybody
Thank
is
you,
supposed to
everybody else.
follow process.
You
Not anything. You know what? We need to get business
You are a
done.
disgrace.
Tammy.
You are a disgrace.
You are a disgrace. You should look at
You
yourself.
are a disgrace.
Roberta Wallace. You're first up, Roberta Wallace. Roberta Wallace. Can you want up?
Another employee who don't know.
Good. Yeah. Someone do it.
We are all here tonight because we care about our schools and our kids. We all want our students to feel safe, supported, and ready to learn every single day. Over the past few months, a lot has happened in our district, and it is not clear to us what is going on or what the plan is. There are many questions and very few answers. This has made our students, staff, and families feel worried and confused. Hundreds of people have come to these meetings. Hundreds of people have spoken during the public comment. We have done this because we care about our students and our community. We continue to stay involved, ask questions, and do the right thing. Even with all of this, we still do not understand what is happening or what will happen next. When things feel so confusing, it is normal for people to ask for extra help and support. Tonight, I'm making a respectful but urgent request. I'm asking our state's leaders, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel, or the people who work for them to help us. Help us uncover the truth of what is happening in our district. We are asking them to make sure that the state laws are being followed and that students are being put first. It is not about attacking anybody. It is about helping our kids and rebuilding the trust that our community once had in the school district. Our students only get one chance at their education. They deserve clear, stable, and honest leadership from all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle Landon.
Tashelle, she's on her way up.
Good
We are all here tonight because we care about our schools and our kids. We all want our students to feel safe, supported, and ready to learn every single day. Over the past few months, a lot has happened in our district. It is not clear to us what is going on or what the plan is. These are many questions and very few answers. I'm sorry, there are many questions and very few answers. This has made our students, staff, and families feel worried and confused. Hundreds of people have come to these meetings and hundreds of people have spoken during public comment. We have done this because we care about our students and our community. We continue to stay involved, ask questions, and do the right thing. Even with all of this, we still do not understand what is happening or what will happen next. When things feel this confusing, it is normal for people to ask for extra help and support. Tonight, I am making a respectful but urgent request. I am asking our state leaders, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel, or the people who work for them to help us. Help us uncover the truth of what is happening in our district. We are asking them to make sure that the state laws are being followed and that the students are also being put first. This is not about attacking anyone. This is about helping our kids and rebuilding the trust that our community once had in this school district. Our students only get one chance at their education. They deserve clear, stable, and honest leadership from all of us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Karina Evans.
But this is important, so I decided to come. You know, I was thinking about trying to come up here and say something that was more than, hasn't been said already. Something that I could say that could make you all understand what we as a community want. But everything's been said. Everybody has come forth and they have told you what we want. I didn't know Mark, as I've told before. I actually met Mark at a wrestling match that I could not afford for my boys to be able to attend, but thanks to the programs that Mark put in place, we were able to join, and not only join, but participate. I have 2 boys and a granddaughter that will be wrestling this year, which I cannot afford. But it's been made possible for them to do that. I've been listening to family. I'm not a public speaker, and I'm very uncomfortable up here. But I choose to do this because it's important. I sat here and listened to colleagues, students, teachers, and various other district employees tell you what they felt and what they wanted. It wasn't until all of the shadiness that came up within the dealings with the school board that all of a sudden this man who's been nothing but held in high regard, all of a sudden these charges came against him. You stated that you want us to all to have, to abide by whatever the rules are, and yet you're meeting in a parking lot when you know that there's no other school board members around. We all came to a meeting that you 4 chose not to attend. We came, but you chose not to. That wasn't following rules, but that's okay because you have your own rules. You're evil. And this man on the end, your integrity is of an amoeba. You had the opportunity to stand up and do what was right for Mark. Instead, you thought you'd slip in under his coattails and take over where his accomplishments meant. I am tired of listening to people tell you what we want. And 4 people, 1 of you has the opportunity to do what's right. I don't expect it from you. You've already shown us what you are. But you other 3, please, there's got to be something that you're willing to stand up for that's right. Because right now, we will find out that you're all connected. We all know that the evil flocks to evil. And we also know that this boat is sinking. And we all know that you don't care that you're taking people down with you. I'm just praying one of you has some kind of dignity that you're willing to save the rest of them. But I don't believe that's going to happen. It'll all come out, and we all know what you guys are doing. There's no way that this man all of a sudden had some kind of whatever come up. You're shameful, every one of
All
you.
right, thank you. Claire Bringager.
Hello, good evening, President Morales, members of the board, and our community members. My name is Claire Brenninger, and I am a 6th grade geography teacher here in Bridgeport. I've been attending these meetings for some time now, and in case you didn't know, today was the 67th day of school. And as a teacher, I just see firsthand how much is at stake for our students. I'm speaking tonight because I feel a strong sense of responsibility and gratitude. As a young teacher, I've been fortunate to work in districts with great leadership, and I put Mark Whelton on the top of that list. My personal experience with him and his leadership has always been supportive and focused on moving the district forward. However, I am not naive. I have listened closely to the stories shared by my veteran colleagues, teachers who have given decades to this district and recall what they describe as darker times, working under leadership that was not always centered on the best interests of the students in their classrooms. These stories are a powerful cautionary reminder of how quickly a district can lose focus. We have made significant progress since those difficult years. The last thing we can afford to do is stumble backwards. If we want to move forward, if we want our community to be a strong, stable environment for education, we must ensure that the well-being and success of our students are the unquestionable, absolute forefront of every decision we make. This is the compass that must guide us. Right now, the essential stability is shaken. To regain the confidence of our parents, community, and staff, the board must display the principles necessary of a good governance, complete transparency, and clear communication. Our community and students deserve to have faith in the stability of our district leadership. Silence and rumor erode that critical trust. The truth and clear action will bring it back. Let us prove that we are committed to a brighter and more honest future, that we have a chance to demonstrate all that we can, or let me try again. We have a chance to demonstrate that we can all overcome barriers, that we're committed to our students. Let us not waste an opportunity to move forward and lead with integrity and transparency. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob Cassidy.
Last time I was up here, I got to speak about the barriers and the possibilities. Okay, some of my colleagues are going to present some data on curriculum and the assessments that we have to take, specifically the NWEA. Okay, some people think that we only assess the kids once a year. NWEA is 3 times a year. Okay, and we're charting the kids' growth. Some people just want to look at them as one point and say, that's it. Well, we look at them in the fall, we look at them in the winter, then we look at them in the spring again. And as I tell my kids, I've got a big data board up in my room. They know if they're growing or not. Okay, plain and simple. If they don't know the goals that we have set for them, they don't know what to shoot for. Okay? So NWEA reading is a 210 by the end of the year. Okay? Some of the kids come in at 180, some are a lot less than that. Okay? The idea is to grow them. Okay? So one of the things our kids face is high poverty rate. Okay? We got a lot of barriers in this school. I don't know if you guys know, we're 100% free reduced lunch. Okay? We feed them breakfast, we feed them lunch. Man, my kids bring their lunch back so they can finish up. I'd rather have a bunch of kids eating and getting their stuff on their desk, okay, rather than getting all hungry and whatnot, okay? But Mr. Whelton, we've been blessed that he's put a lot of programs in, okay, intervention-wise, so that we can grow the kids. Okay? We do a lot of interventions for them. We've got a lot of training. If you look at the staff members out here, not just the teachers, but we have support intervention staff members that are highly trained. And that's only been in the last 7 years. I've been in a few districts, okay? And we don't have just parents who are struggling at home, okay? We got kids that struggle here, sometimes because their parents are struggling. Maybe they're doing 2 or 3 different jobs, okay? I've got a kid in my class who babysits because mom has to go to work and he's missing school. Because somebody's got to be with the little one. He's only 10, okay? So we've got a lot of things that we overcome, but as my friends will be showing you in a little bit, okay, our arrow on our charts are going from the bottom left to the top right, every last one of them. Okay, reading and math.
Tammy Morford.
Good evening. Some of you may know me as Tammy Cook. I was Tammy Cook for a number of years teaching in the district. Recently, Tammy Morford. You're my better half in the back. I started teaching here in Bridgeport in 1998, and after being here for a while, I moved into Bridgeport because I believed in this community, I believed in the school district, and I loved the kids. Taught here till I retired a year and a half ago. Still live in the community, pay my taxes, vote, support the schools, because this is my home. This isn't just where I worked and where I retired. This is my home. This is my community. And your community is only as good as your school district. Plain and simple. When you don't take care of your school district, things happen, and not in a good way. Mr. Whelton came into this district, and I worked with a lot of superintendents that were either used us as a stepping stone or as a retirement plan. He came here because he believed in being here, and he loves this community, and he loves the kids. The schools, in my opinion, have never looked better since probably the day they were built, 10 years ago. He takes pride in everything in this community. It amazes to me, from having lived in other communities, just the amount of time and effort that he's put into this community and these schools and these kids, because he wants to see improvement. And I was honored to work with him. I didn't always agree with him. I didn't always agree with every decision he made, but he listened and he honored every comment and every moment that I had with him. And I don't know what's going on with a personal vendetta, because that's all it can possibly be. It can't possibly be anything but a personal vendetta, because most people would not want to just wake up one day and say, I think I'll personally try to destroy this community. And that's what I feel like you've done. And I'm ashamed to say that I voted for you, because I thought I could trust you, and I thought you had the community at heart. And I will admit it, I was wrong.
Mason Europe.
All right.
Speaking on behalf of Niles Latimer, Mr. Walton has always gone above and beyond for the kids. He has dedicated his time, energy, and heart to giving us positive things to do, helping us stay on the right path. Mr. Walton has been someone who truly cares and makes a difference. His goal has always been to build opportunities not just for sports, but for learning, teamwork, and growth. A man who stands up for the kids and works to give them a better future should be supported, not punished. Mr. Walton represents the kind of leadership and love our community needs. Losing him would be a big step backwards for the youth and for all of us who believe in creating a better tomorrow. Thank you for listening.
Megan Noble.
Again, not the first time up here. I've been, my third time? I was gonna read the same letter most of them have read, but I think I'm gonna represent a couple of things I presented on the day that the four of you chose not to come to the meeting. I've researched about 16 contracts. I think 3 of them say that there's money involved. Like, I can't correlate the points of our test scores to compensation. I can't correlate. The only thing that correlates across all these contracts and school districts I've reviewed is poverty level. Every school district that's been in the 90s has poor test scores. These kids come to school with so many barriers. We have 6% that are above that barrier. 6%. 6% of schools, or the kids that come to school, are above the level where they're not struggling every day. Struggling whether they have food, struggling whether they have clothes, struggling whether they have shoes to wear, socks, clean clothes, a washer to wash their clothes. And we're judging one person, possibly from the transcripts I read, from the petitions, on test scores, or that they aren't to a level that what they had in June, but all of a sudden after 6.5 years, we've changed that decision in 6 months time. The only thing this community wants is an explanation on what is that change. What changed? You had a hiring, from my understanding, to get trained to do that evaluation, if I'm not wrong. You personally scheduled that training, and only 4 members could attend. So my question again is, and I know you're not going to answer, but the community wants to know what has changed to a level that you got trained by the district's money to do that evaluation, and now all we can say is, something's changed. And just so you know, there was, as I heard it got to the superintendent, a walkout, because this is affecting the students. 20 to 30 students walked out of class today to demonstrate that they don't like the change that is suggestively coming. So I do appeal to our governor to come help us figure out what is really going on, because something is not being told to us as your employers.
Thank you. Tracy Barker.
Good evening, my name is Tracy Barker. I'm known as Miss B, and I'm the secretary at Thomas White Elementary. Over the last several months, I have witnessed a complete breakdown in leadership in our district. I was at the school board meeting when Amy Morales took over as board president. I knew in that moment this was not a leader we wanted representing our students, community, and staff. Instead of taking on this role with vision, transparency, integrity, communication, and empathy, this role was taken on to manipulate, deceive, control. Ms. Morales has failed to effectively guide, motivate, support, communicate with staff, community, and students. She has created a toxic environment with poor listening skills, unclear direction, lack of transparency, micromanagement. She has an inability to set clear goals or inspire a shared purpose. Ms. Morales prioritizes personal gain over our district's well-being. We have sat at countless meetings over these last few months hearing students, community members, and staff speak from their hearts about what is taking place with our superintendent, Mark Whelton, and it continues to fall on deaf ears. I myself have sent emails to the board. I have only received responses from the same 3 board members in all my emails, Robert, Aaron, and Tammy. To me, that is very telling. I do not welcome conflicts, and I certainly do not enjoy trials, but when I am met with those conflicts and trials, I will face them head on. I do not battle like most. I battle with boldness, passion, and conviction. I battle for truth. I battle for transparency and communication from adults. I do not ask for permission or beg and grovel at the feet of cowards whose moral character is based off lies, deceit, and corruption. I came to work for this district because of the vision and passion, inspiration, and love that Mark Whelton has for this district and community. I stand resolute in that. And I believe wholeheartedly this is a spiritual battle. I see it for what it is. The enemy is not loud, he's strategic, and we are called to call the enemy out with boldness and authority. That is how I battle. And I said it before and I will say it again, darkness is always brought to light. Lies, deceit, and corruption only take you so far, and when that time comes, and it will come, I will not tell you I told you so. No, I will mourn. I will mourn for our students that were let down and deceived by adult leaders. I will mourn for our community that trusted leaders to lead with vision, passion, inspiration, and love for their kids. I will mourn for our staff that worked so hard to inspire and teach our students that their dreams and hard work are far greater than their circumstances. And I will mourn for you, because you were given an opportunity to be a part of something great, and you took that and disregarded it for your own personal gain. I see it for what it is, and I know all the players in your game, and I'm not going anywhere.
Gina McLeod.
Good evening. My name is Gina McLeod. I am a 7th grade math teacher, and I've been working here for 10 years. I have my coworkers up here with the charts and graphs that I have just handed to every board member up here. So good evening. Tonight I want to share what our NWEA growth data is telling us about our students' progress in the clearest and most simplest terms. First, when we look at the first set of charts, these are the ones with red and blue. We are comparing our student scores to national averages, and when we do this, we see something very important. Students are entering our district below where the average student in the nation begins. Many of our families face real economic and social challenges, and that shows up in the starting scores of the children who come through our doors. In other words, our students start with a bigger hill to climb. But here's the key message tonight. Our students in our schools, they grow, and they grow a lot. The chart shows several clear trends. In elementary school, the gap between our students and the national average stops widening. Students stabilize instead of falling farther behind. In middle school, their growth speeds up. They begin catching up at a faster rate than before. And by high school, their improvement is significant. Their growth accelerates to the point where by graduation, they are performing competitively with students across the country. So although our students start behind, they do not leave behind. Their growth reflects strong instruction, targeted interventions, and effective use of resources. Now looking at the second set of data charts, these are the orange and yellow, or red and yellow ones, sorry. The ones showing how many students each year exceed their expected growth in reading and math. These charts tell an even more encouraging story. Year after year, the percentage of students meeting their growth targets continue to increase in both subjects. Not only is this improvement steady, it is statistically strong. This means it's not happening by chance. It's real, reliable, and measurable progress. All of this improvement has occurred after COVID, a period that especially hurt our students. We are not comparing to pre-COVID numbers because those are not comparable. What matters is that since COVID, our students have made meaningful gains every year. But it is also important to be clear, no single test can ever tell the whole story of a child's learning. Let me say this again. No single test can ever capture the full picture of a child's learning or potential. NWEA and MSTEP are useful tools. It shows trends, growth, and areas of need, but it is only one piece of the puzzle.
Good evening and happy holidays. I don't come here to tell you anything that you haven't already heard, but I do want to come here and just reiterate what I said probably about 8 months ago. I would love to invite you all into our school at any point in time. When you're following my coworkers there is good for me, because I wanted to tell you, we've got to look beyond those test scores. I would love for you to come in here and sit in on a martial arts class, in Mr. Knarr's class, and see what we're teaching those young men and women. I would love for you to see the STEM activities they're doing in Mr. Knarr's STEM lab. I would love for you to come in and see what our students are doing in Mr. Shepard's English 9 class, where he's taking them to that next level, getting them ready, and preparing those students to set into the first time where we have honors classes at Bridgeport High School, thanks to Dr. Hall's support and Mr. Whelton's support. We have honors classes starting in the 10th grade, all the way through high school, or through graduation, for our seniors in English, in social studies. We have accelerated classes in math. We'd love for you to come in and sit in and see what our students do on a daily basis. See where they start in the morning, and see where they finish in the afternoon. Again, if you're going to make decisions based on what's best for our school, we would love to see you come into the high school. We'd love to see you come into the elementary schools and sit with our kids in a regular day, not as board members, but as concerned citizens of Bridgeport. I invite you again to come in anytime. You're welcome to come in and see what our kids are doing, see what our production kids are doing, see what our leadership kids are doing. You hit the paper, you see the videos, you see everything we have going on here. We need to look beyond that test score. The SAT is not the data we use to determine what our kids grow as. It's the NWEA. It's what they do with us every day in our classroom. It's the fact that they come. I've seen them come to Mr. Johnson at football games and talk about phases of the moon. No SAT score tells you that. But the kids are engaged in learning and reaching beyond their everyday life. So that's what I come here, just to ask you to come and sit with us any day. Thank you.
Thank you. Christina Ponegratz.
Hi, my name is Christina Pongrass. I have attended Bridgeport schools my entire life until I was in 6th grade. I left, I went up north to Aranac Eastern and Whittemore Prescott schools. Those schools were not great. I enjoyed being here at Bridgeport. I wanted to come back. I was told no. I watched the school then go into an absolute disgrace. It was done. It was on the verge of shutdown. I watched the school bring in Mr. Whelton. I watched it thrive. I am very proud to have Mr. Whelton as our superintendent, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. This walkout with the students, because they are now realizing what is going on. They don't want to lose their superintendent. That should show a lot to you board members. A lot. It is now affecting our kids. It is affecting our kids that they are walking out of class, risking suspension, and gladly willing to take it. A lot of students did go back to class. There are 3 that did not. I knew you were not aware of that. 2 of them are right here. The 3rd one is at home. 2 of them are my children. I don't play nicely when it comes to my kids. My kids' lives are now being affected because of your board members' decision. I am not liking this. I will stand behind these kids 100%. If they want to walk out every day, I will stand there. I will be behind them. And if I cannot do it, I know my husband will. We have multiple new businesses coming into this community. Who's going to want to move here if the school is crumbling and putting their kids in it? Nobody. Absolutely nobody is going to want to move to the community if the school board is crumbling and destroying our schools. So I plead with everything in me, from our government, from Governor Whitmer, from the attorneys, for everyone, please come in and help us and figure out what is going on behind our school board, behind closed doors that is not being told to us.
Robert Valley.
Well, I'm coming a little different tonight. 2 years ago, I came to this board to ask if we could change the track to Callard Frank track. I still haven't heard anything, never probably even thought about it after I brought it, but they were here for 50 years. Mrs. Frank worked here. They deserve to have that honor. My second point, I'm kind of curious, because one of the problems I've always had with Bridgeport is apathy. I'm just wondering how many votes did it take for some of the people on this board to get? 200? 300? So what we're saying here is 300 people, 300 voters, decided on how the school system is being run. I think that's something we should think about, because look, community, I've never seen a community this united. I've been waiting for this for a long time. This has been something I've dreamed about for 50 years. Gotta be parent-driven. Kind of curious who all the parents are, because I think the replacements, there's a bunch of parents out here that wouldn't be bad board members because they'll put their children first. Again, I love Bridgeport. I'm a Bearcat, 1973 grad. Left a lot of sweat and blood on these ball fields. Probably battled a lot of the people in the room here over education, because I don't think it's Mark's fault on why Bridgeport is having its problems. And I was so proud of this presentation. Man, that was amazing. I think it's great to show what Mark can do with poverty, single mother households, a school system that's had its issues. When I went here, we had plays, we had things go on that was amazing. I don't think we'll get back to there, but I think if we put the right people in position of leadership, I think we can start working on getting 3,000 students to come here. Because I remember we taught welding, we built a home every year in Bridgeport. We had mechanics. We got to go back to that. Some of our children are not going to go to college. So why don't we bring some of that back? And I think Mark has that vision. I really do. The community center and the community things that he wants to build, that's for the community. We don't have a feeder program now in this community. That's what happened in Buena Vista. That's going to happen here. If we don't fix this personality issue, I think it's ego, driven by egos. I don't understand it, because I'm trying to find out what he did wrong. I really can't imagine it, because he's done everything right. Thank you.
Tasha Miller.
Evening. So I came to share some research, because emotions get emotional, but research helps provide answers and actually leads us to progress. So I want to share with you, did you know that over 50% of people buying a home, what they look at first? They first look at the school district. I think most of us probably know that. In Bridgeport, so I did some research first, I should let you know. I contacted a local realtor and I asked him to do some research for me. And he responded to me today and said that in Bridgeport, 148 residential listings sold in 2023. The number rose to 172 in 2024. At the same time, the average sale price increased from about $111,000 to $145,000. For perspective, back in 2017, before Mr. Whelton, the average home price was only $69,000. The upward trend shows growing interest in the community, and the families are choosing to make Bridgeport their home. About 7.5 years ago, headlines stated that Bridgeport Spalding was identified as one of the state's lowest performing districts, and they entered a formal improvement process with the state. And you can find that on michigan.gov. By 2023, positive headlines stated that the district introduced smart labs and VR courses, which were engaging and empowered students, giving them a chance to thrive. WNEA. However, in 2025, the headlines have again turned negative, such as 3 board members faced recall petitions after voting not to renew the superintendent's contract. WNEA. I just want to let you know tonight, as you make decisions and vote, I respectfully suggest that you also review the Michigan Open Meetings Act. Again, more research and facts you can find on their website. Because board members can be held personally liable for violations, including fines, court costs, and in rare cases, jail time. By following the law and making thoughtful, transparent decisions, your board can change the course of what's going on. You can stop what's going on. You can choose to do right and make right choices, and then not be held liable for what could potentially come down. The news is watching. Every district around is now watching, because this is setting a path. This is setting a tone for what will happen, what can be happen, and how to change things. So please, listen to your heart. I guarantee you everybody in this room can come together. Forgiveness should be something that everybody offers. Grace. Choose wisely. Thank you.
Terry Gronek and Miranda Nobis.
Good evening, my name is Miranda Notice. And good evening, my name is Chloe Garnett. We were the people who did walk out today. As we heard, apparently we are suspended. Well, that we know we possibly heard, we are suspended. No? No, you guys are safe. Okay, so before I start this letter, I would just like to say that I appreciate that Amy, Aaron, and Robert have all been coming to our side and supporting Mr. Whelton. And I would like to ask for Lucy, Carmen, Amy, and Bremsey to please look around and see what the problem is and try to fix it. We are all here tonight because we care about our schools and our kids. We all want our students to feel safe, supported, and ready to learn every single day. Over the past few months, a lot has happened to our district. It is not clear to us what is going on or what the plan is. There are many questions and very few answers that has made our staff, students, staff, and families feel worried and confused. Hundreds of people have come to these meetings. Hundreds of people have spoken during public comment. We have done this because we care about our students and our community. We continue to stay involved, ask questions, and do the right thing. Even with all of this, we still do not understand what is happening or what will happen next. When things feel this confusing, it is normal for people to ask for extra help and support. Tonight, I am making a respectful but argument request. I am asking our state's leaders, Governor Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel, or the people who work for them, to help us uncover the truth of what is happening to our district. We are asking them to make sure that state laws are being followed and the students are being put first. This is not about attacking anyone. This is about helping our kids and rebuilding the trust that our community once had in this school district.
Our students only get one chance at the education. They deserve clear, stable, and honest leadership from all of us. Thank you for listening, and I do have more stuff to add. Have you guys seen? Yeah, there's been like 20 or 30 kids that walked out today at 1 p.m. Exactly 1 p.m. Sure, I was a little late, but I understood what happened. There was threats of being suspended when I did, because there can be consequences. But have you guys realized, even if your sons or kids that you might have go to our school, have you guys realized the improvement? Have you guys realized that if you put your kids in a different school, they might have been doing like kind of low? But if you put your kids in this school, have you realized all the after-school programs that we have? I asked some of my friends that ride my bus, do you have fun at these after-school programs? And they all said what? Yes. And it's all because of Mr. Whelton. I would not appreciate if Mr. Whelton leaves. I'll be ashamed that Mr. Whelton leaves. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Robert Kavanaugh.
Good evening, board members and Bridgeport community. These kids got it right. These kids are right. You guys they're supposed to be here for them and us, the community, not yourselves, not the hidden agenda, all right? And y'all know what we're talking about. It's a bunch of crap. Our kids come first. You need to understand that. If you don't like the way this town is being run or anything like that, get out.
Chris McKay.
I'm Christina McKay, and I teach 6th grade science. I teach AARI 6 through 8, which is a reading intervention program that has recently been added to our school, and I also teach STEAM. I want to be clear, when I say we tonight, I am not referring to everyone. We are all here tonight because we care about our schools and our kids. We all want our students to feel safe, supported, and ready to learn every single day. Over the past few months, a lot has happened in our district. It is not clear to us what is going on or what the plan is. There are many questions and very few answers. This has made our students, staff, and families feel worried and confused. Hundreds of people have come to these meetings. Hundreds of people have spoken during public comment. We have done this because we care about our students and our community. We continue to stay involved, ask questions, and do the right thing. Even with all of this, we still do not understand what is happening or what will happen next. When things feel this confusing, it is normal for people to ask for extra help and support. Tonight, I am making a respectful but urgent request. I am asking our state's leaders, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel, or the people who work for them, to help us. Help us uncover the truth of what is happening in our district. We are asking them to make sure that state laws are being followed and that students are being put first. This is about helping our kids and rebuilding the trust that our community once had in this district. Our students only get one chance at their education, They deserve clear, stable, and honest leadership from all of us.
Julie Cavoli.
My name is Julie Licavoli. This is my 15th year here in the district. We are all here tonight because we care about our schools and our kids. We want all of our students to feel safe, supported, and ready to learn every single day. Over the past few months, a lot has happened in our district. It's not clear to us what is going on or what the plan is. There are many questions and very few answers. This has made our students, staff, and our families feel worried and confused. Hundreds of people have come to these meetings. Hundreds of people have spoken during public comment. We've done this because we care about our students and our community. We continue to stay involved, ask questions, and do the right thing. Even with all of this, we still do not understand what is happening or what will happen next. When things feel this confusing, it is normal for people to ask for extra help and support. Tonight, I'm making a respectful but urgent request, and I'm asking our state's leaders, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel, or the people who work for them, to help us. Help us uncover the truth of what's happening in our district. We are asking them to make sure that state laws are being followed and that students are being put first. This is not about attacking anyone. This is about helping our kids and rebuilding the trust that our community once had in this school district. Our students only get one chance at their education, and they deserve clear, stable, and honest leadership from all of us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Vanessa Smith.
Who's going to read what other people are reading? We decided that it was a good place to go, but after listening to your opening statement and a few other things, I've changed my mind. You made it very clear that you are being transparent and that you are open to what is going on, yet I struggle. Twice this board has been brought in front of you to vote on Mark's contract. The first time, voted no. I'm okay with that because you didn't have all the information. You didn't have a chance to take a look at it. We then come to another meeting where you deliberated for 45 minutes, had time to have a conversation, and 4 of you still voted no. Yet on November 21st, without nobody knowing, then Troya, you even said, this is the first time I've seen this, when a movement was brought to suspend Mark. Yet you still voted yes on it, but you wouldn't vote yes on a contract. That tells us that you are planning something behind our back. If you will vote yes on something without having an open discussion with us, we know that you're making plans. There was no discussion of who to put in charge while Mark is being suspended, yet here sits Flynn Hall. Not a single one of you made that recommendation. It was put in a piece of paper by the lawyer, and you voted yes on it. Yet you wouldn't have an open discussion about it. That tells us that you are having conversations in the dark. That tells us that you will vote blindly on something without knowing. I respected the fact that you wouldn't vote yes on his contract the first time. You, Amy, have also made several comments about how negotiations were ongoing to the press, but there were no negotiations. There was nothing before these allegations that we still don't know what they are. There was nothing before that. He'd never been disciplined. He'd never made a wrong step, and you said he was effective. Yet you wouldn't have an open conversation in front of us about why you wouldn't vote yes. That's why we're mad. If he did something, he did something. But we're mad because you won't be transparent with us. This is our livelihood too. It's not just Mark, it's not just the children. Us teachers spend our days here. I've been in district since 6:45 this morning. And I will be here every single day fighting for what is right. This is where I want to be. And when you are not transparent with us, when you don't tell us why you vote a way you vote, that's why we don't trust you. That's why we don't want you on the board. If you would have an open conversation with us and tell us why you feel the way you feel, we would respect you a lot more.
Christopher Roche.
Might not be here yet. He will be
Okay,
here later.
Matt Smith.
have two statements that are brief and to the point that I'm gonna read, which I just handed out. The first, the Bridgeport Education Association membership has voted in favor of the following statement. I am not confident in the majority of the school board's ability to represent the best interests of the Bridgeport Spalding Community Schools. The BEA remains committed to working with district leadership to maintain a safe, supportive, and effective learning environment for every student in the Bridgeport Spalding Community District. Second statement. The Bridgeport Education Association membership has voted in favor of the following statement. I am confident in Mark Whelton's ability to be superintendent of the Bridgeport Spalding Community Schools. The BEA remains committed to working with district leadership to maintain a safe, supportive, and effective learning environment for every student in the Bridgeport Spalding Community School District.
Brandon Sweeney.
Good evening. We are all here tonight because we care about our schools and our kids. We all want our students to feel safe, supported, and ready to learn every single day. Over the past few months, a lot has happened in our district. It's not clear to us what is going on or what the plan is. There are many questions and very few answers. This has made our students, staff, and families feel worried and confused. Hundreds of people come to these meetings, they speak during public comment. We're doing this because we care about our students and our community. We continue to stay involved, ask questions, and do the right thing. Even through all of this, we still don't understand what is happening or what will happen next. When things feel this confusing, it is normal for people to ask for extra help and support. Tonight, I'm making a respectful but very urgent request. I am asking Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel to help us uncover the truth of what is happening in our district, what is happening to our district. We are asking them to make sure that state laws are being followed and that students are being put first. This is not about attacking anyone. This is about helping our kids and rebuilding the trust that our community used to have in the school district. Our students only get one chance at their education. They deserve clear, stable, and honest leadership from all of us. So there's something else that's really been bothering me. On November 21st, Ms. Morales, who has never missed a chance to be the only voice heard at the table, when it came to the most serious and controversial action taken by this board to date, she suddenly stepped back and had Ms. Breamsey read it aloud. I think anyone who gets put in that position should wonder why Ms. Morales chose that moment of all moments to pass the buck. You've got to ask yourself, what's her motivation for that? One of two things has to be true. Either she is directly involved in these complaints that the attorney stated he received, or she wanted the heat from this very serious issue to fall on anybody but her. Thank you.
Larry Long.
I didn't.
Oh, my name is Larry Long. I've lived in the district for probably 45 years. I've worked in this district for 40 years. I was a general manager and became a field manager of the TA or the 76 truck stop. Bob Zelli, I think you know me well. I was on the school board. I've been active in the schools. All three of my children went to this school. I still live in this district. I don't know if I'm going to get applause or boos when I'm done here, but this district is not going where it should be right now. There's too much hate being said by people out in its audience, and it's not what we're about. I don't understand it. I do know that the school board cannot come forward and say what the complaint is. Hopefully everybody on the board knows what the complaint was. They can't say what it is. If they don't, I don't understand why every board member doesn't. Maybe there's a law I'm not aware of, but it would seem to me like every board member should know that. So, going back to, oh, and I wanted to say this too, because I was very encouraged by, and I don't remember what teachers were out here, but they were up here and they were showing the progress. That's great to hear. I applaud that. That's what we need. I also, Mr. Zelli said something about getting the trades back in here. We used to have that. I'm sorry to say on my watch when I was on the school board, we sold off a lot of that wood, shop equipment, all that stuff. We need to look at that kind of thing too, because the majority of our students aren't going to college, and there's a need for that. But getting back to this is something that was on 11325, item 9 on an action. Member Morales, supported by Member Breamsey, moved to require the superintendent to provide the board with weekly reports on the following items for buildings. Notice of any and all district suspension expulsions per building to include count, reasons, and if offense could come to the board. Any and all property damage, any and all student staff injuries and assaults. Upcoming district events, district resignations, retirements, including board superintendent. Weekly and monthly schedule, and any time the superintendent is out of the district. There was members Castillo, Irby, Morales, and Breamsey voted yes. Bob, you voted no. I don't understand why you would vote no, because to me that's just transparency. Then this goes back to what everybody's, there's a lot of nasty stuff. And I'll tell you this, the only time I came to the school board and talked up here was back when Mr. Whelton had the bond issue. And I came because I was not in support of it, and that meeting was held in the library. The only time I ever said anything negative about this school district was that, and right at that same time I spoke, it was because it was in the library, and you all had your backs turned. That's not respectful to be turning your back to that. I have more to say, but I guess I'm out of time.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Kate Weaver.
Good evening. My name is Kate Weaver. I'm a 5th grade teacher here at Bridgeport, and I've been here for about 10 years now. A few weeks ago, we watched as the majority of this board negotiated Mr. Whelton's contract in bad faith. After this majority of the board denied renewing his contract, I was asked by one of our 4th grade students who was here 2 very simple questions. Why are they doing this? Why don't they care about us?
Oh, that's fine. I don't.
Am I good?
Yep.
It's been a crazy couple months, and I feel like I owe a great deal to the kids here at Bridgeport. When I started teaching at Bridgeport, it wasn't because I wanted to become a teacher. I actually started here at Bridgeport when I was 22 as a long-term sub, and at that time, in my 22-year-old brain, the extent of a plan that I had moving forward was that I was going to move to South Florida. I like the sunshine. I like the culture down there. And so I needed to save money till Christmas. At that time, we were right after COVID. It was like 2021. And I think we had 8 some odd teaching vacancies at the elementary school. And I filled one of them. But I let everybody know, like, hey, just so you know, like, don't hire me if you need me for the whole year. They're like, we need anybody right now. I'm like, all right, but I'll be gone at Christmas. Well, I didn't leave. Really quick, I fell in love with the kids here at Bridgeport, and they gave me a lot of hope about the future. COVID was a hard time for me. It was a time when I lost a lot of faith in the people around me. And then the kids at Bridgeport, they brought a lot of life back to me. And so I feel like I owe them a lot. And they mean the world to me. And, when we first started this whole process, I remember that first board meeting, it seemed like the narrative was such that Mr. Whelton was hard to negotiate with, and that was why this hasn't been done yet. But then, as this has been going on, a text message came out that showed that in 2024 in November, you had already texted somebody and told them we're not planning on renewing Mr. Whelton's contract. And I watched kids as young as 10 years old get up here and pour their hearts out in front of hundreds of people, week after week. And you just sat there and looked at them as if, like, yeah, this is worth doing. You should get up there and make your voice heard. We're here listening to you. But for over a year, the agenda's already been made up that you didn't want to renew his contract. And, we've all come up here till we were blue in the face, and I felt a ton of anger and frustration over these last 2 months. Really trying to let that go as much as I can. It's not good for me, it's not good for the kids that I serve. But I do want to know why. If this was cooked up in November of 2024, why? Why, for the last year, have you not wanted to renew his contract? And why did you guys let all those kids come up here and talk like that if you already knew what you were going to do anyway? Why'd you let the parents come up? Why'd you do all this?
Agenda adjustments.
Are you actually going to listen to the kids and what the community has to say, or let it fall on deaf ears?
Agenda.
We're done right now, okay?
Agenda adjustments.
Yes. I should like to note that the November 10th adjournment notes are not appropriate. They're an editorial, and I would ask that they simply state that the adjournment occurred at 10:32, please. Additionally, I would like to note that item 13 on the agenda, Mr. Hall is the acting superintendent, not the interim.
So your first agenda adjustment, separate. So agenda adjustment, repeat that again.
The minutes from the November 10th meeting, the adjournment, have an editorial that is not appropriate. And if you'd like, I'll read it.
Editorial is not appropriate? So not the actual adjournment.
Well, what's written for the adjournment is that President Morales motions, supported by Member Castillo, to adjourn due to some staff members rushing the board table, cursing and yelling at specific board members. That is an editorial. It is not a statement of fact. It just needs to state that the board was adjourned.
There's a recommendation on the table.
I would move that as a motion, please.
Support.
Mr. Sawatsky?
Yes.
Mr. Lang?
Hold on. There needs to be an opportunity for discussion. I'm not running the meeting.
It's the truth. So if you want to motion to have it removed, that just states the vote was adjourned with nothing else, that is your right.
I'm offering the opportunity based on Robert's rules, if there's discussion associated with that motion and the support that's on the floor.
So does anyone have any?
I already have made that motion.
It was adjourned.
Strike the editorial. Meeting adjourned at 10:32. Point of order is that there should be an opportunity for board members to have a discussion, should they so choose, based on the recommendation.
You understand? Enjoy. Okay. Anyone else have anything? Hearing none, go ahead.
Mr. Sawatsky?
Yes.
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Mrs. Bieshki?
Yes.
Ms. Irby?
No.
Ms. Castillo?
No.
Mrs. Breemsy?
No, this is what happened.
Ms. Morales?
No.
Okey-dokey.
With 4 noes or 3 yeses and 4 opposed.
So November
Did
10th.
not pass.
Item 13. The appropriate term should be acting, not interim. I would move that we correct the agenda as requested.
Support.
Discussion to change the word, and correct me if I'm wrong, interim to active.
Correct.
Correct. I have been actually saying acting, so I don't have a problem with that. Does anyone else have any questions or? Any discussion?
I believe that's what was in the resolution on the 10th, right?
Correct.
So that might just be a,
So just correcting typo on 13 from interim to acting. Any other discussion? Hearing none?
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Mrs. Bieshki?
Yes.
Ms. Castillo?
yes.
Ms. Morales?
Yes.
Mrs. Breemsy?
Yes.
Ms. Irby?
Yes.
Mr. Sawatsky?
Yes.
We have 7 yes, 0 opposed.
So correction on item number 13 for agenda. Agenda is now adopted. Moving to number 6. We have no board recognition. Moving to item number 7, clarification, Lane.
Okay. Board Policy 101 states, the president on behalf of the board is authorized to consult with the superintendent and or school district legal counsel prior to presentation of an issue to the full board. I would like to provide clarifying procedural language that follows. The board president shall not engage district legal counsel without express authorization by a roll call vote of the full board. Prior to any such authorization, the president shall provide a written statement outlining the scope and proposed engagement of the estimated hours requested. 3, engagement shall be limited to the scope and duration authorized by the board. 4, all artifacts, correspondence, materials resulting from such engagement shall be shared with the full board as soon as practical, up to and including a special board meeting. Unless protected by attorney-client privilege, all such materials shall be distributed by email within 24 hours of receipt, accompanied by text messages notifying of that distribution. That is simply for clarification of Policy 101, and I believe that that would close the loopholes that have created many of the concerns expressed over the past few months. So it is my motion to ask for these to be procedurally added as a part of board policy.
Recommendation on the table is to add and change, add to clarification, change and add to board policy 1001, submitted by Lane.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion. Has the policyholder already been notified?
I'm asking that these be a procedural addition, not a change to the existing policy. Thought I made that clear. I'm sorry if I didn't.
Has the policyholder been notified of your procedural clarification and admin?
Procedures are the district's responsibility, not the vendor's responsibility. That is why we developed the procedure manual.
So then the answer is no. Thank you.
No, I have not, and there's no need to.
That's the only thing I wanted to know is if it had been if the policyholder has been contacted. Any other questions or discussion for Lane? Hearing none? All set? Robin?
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Mrs. Bieshki?
Yes.
Ms. Castillo?
No.
Ms. Morales?
No.
Mrs. Bramsey?
No.
Ms. Irby? Mr. Sawatsky?
Yes.
We have 3 yes and 4 opposed.
So motion did not pass. Number 7. Moving on to number 8. Limitation of board members, MASB classes. Lane?
I am making the following recommendation that the Board of Education establish limits on district-funded training and certification expenses for board members as follows. 1, district funds shall cover only MSB Level 1 certification. Any higher certifications level may be pursued at the individual board member's expense on a personal basis. District funding for training shall be conducted at the lowest reasonable cost to the district. Basically saying we need to limit the amount of travel associated to the extent as possible. Virtual or local training options shall be prioritized. Travel and overnight stays shall be permitted only when no other practical alternative exists. All travel and conference expenses shall require prior written approval by the superintendent at his sole discretion. Non-compliance with these parameters may result in denial of reimbursement to the board member, and board members who attend conferences or external training sessions shall provide a written report to the full board summarizing sessions attended and key learning or informational takeaways.
Lane has made recommendation to limit expenses and for board members' training.
So move.
Support.
Any discussion?
Yeah, to be certified, that's all you need is just the 101 classes, correct?
Need level 1, that's it.
Mm-hmm. All of the 100.
Patty, there was a, for the MASB, we had a budget set for that. Have we went over the budget?
No, not as of today, but there was a increase in the budget compared to what we've had in the past.
Only because of increase of trustees wanting to get that.
It was a request that was requested of me in a meeting that Mrs. Morales came in my office one day and requested when I was creating the budget.
And what was that request?
She requested that I put in $25,000 to be.
Did not.
She did.
Okay, how much have we spent right now? How much have we spent as of today?
Just a second, I have it all. I can. As of November 5th, you've spent $8,363.64.
Was it 25,000 voted, agreed upon?
It was part of the budget that you guys approved in June.
Okay, and you said 83 what?
83, 63, 64.
Is that with or without reimbursements yet for the, and
I
yeah,
started the reimbursement process today, and we can get back approximately $1,600 of it.
this year still we'll get the reimbursement?
Yes.
So, well, okay, so it'll be less than 8,000 that was spent. And how many, do you know how many board members total who were able to take that opportunity of the less than $8,000 that was used?
It was 4 of them.
4?
That you used it this year, is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, that used the whole year?
So far since July 1st, 4 of you have taken classes, and that's the total cost.
Got you. Do you know the 4 members?
Yes, I do.
Okay, who are the 4 members?
Yourself,
Huh?
Ms. Castillo, Mrs. Bremsey, and Mrs. Psinski.
Bieshki.
Bieshki,
Sorry.
yeah. I was gonna say, me, okay.
So the 4, okay. So that is, so we don't have the actual total yet for the whole year. We'll get that after reimbursement.
And after, by June 30th.
Is,
But it was far from 25,000.
So far, it is way far higher than it's been. I mean, I have numbers here for you. We've never spent more. Last year, we spent $9,157 in training. But in the years past, all the way back to 2017, 18, we've never spent more than $3,000 in training for the whole year.
so no one ever took that opportunity, but now we have. Patty? Good? Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions in regards to limitation of MASB or any board member training?
I do, Amy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we just need our 100 classes to be certified. To go above that, to take 200, 300, what certifications are they that would, I mean, is it up and above? Do you actually need them to be on the school board? Or part of that certification to finish?
Certifications?
Yes.
The specific certifications, for instance, there is a data. I think that's the one that you wanted to take, and you refresh. There's community relations.
Okay.
There is there's the finance.
Okay.
Certifications, as well as the advocacy, and then the leadership.
Okay.
So those are,
I wanted the
they're just
community relationship, but is that gonna be, that's not part of my certification that I have now, that's just an additional, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's
Correct. The original is explaining the board, the 100.
100. So
100. It's for new board members. And then moving on are the ones, which one, like you said? You said the community?
community,
So those are different, and those are different classes. There's nothing like an order where it goes like 200. They're various ones.
okay.
Yeah, nothing specific. It's just 4 or 5 classes for each certification.
Okay, well, I just asked because I thought the community certification would be good because you really need to know how to talk with your community, how to have a good relationship with your community. I think that's, to me, I think that's important.
Yeah, but you pick one certification.
Yeah, so I guess, how many classes would that be for that certification?
5, in addition to what you already have. But I think you already started it, right? You had mentioned that
Did.
you already started it.
I already started it, so, all right.
Any other questions on board training? Hearing none. Robin? Again, Robin is taking a vote to limit the MASB board training.
Mrs. Bieshki,
Yes.
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Sawatsky,
Yes.
Ms. Irby, No. Ms. Castillo?
No.
Mrs. Bramsey?
No.
Ms. Morales?
No.
We have 3 yes votes and 4 opposed.
Number 8 motion is failed. Moving on to number 9, curriculum and strategic plan. A recommended action is to schedule that at a later date when MASB is actually available to come as the presider within the hopefully within the first quarter of 2026. But recommended action was to just schedule with the MASB and to move the curriculum strategic plan in hopes to get a new one completed.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Ms. Morales? Oh, sorry, you want to discuss it?
Okay. Any discussion on that? That's it. Any discussion?
Okay, when we talk about curriculum, please help me understand what you want to do. Do you understand the systemic ramifications of what
The
you're
difference
talking
of
about?
them, since we had a strategic plan set and it has never been touched or monitored or anything, we need to work on something going forward now.
Have we done that? You said it hasn't been touched. Well, have you done the evaluation publicly to say what has or hasn't been done? You're sitting here making a statement without...
Keep in mind that nothing has ever been done properly. So we need to work and follow the guidelines now, and we...
I am asking specifically, you are asking for a strategic plan and a curriculum plan, and yet you can't articulate...
Discussion, to be scheduled for discussion at a later date.
That's not what you said. You said that you would bring in MASB to begin the
Well,
process.
that's for the strategic plan, and you're aware of that. That,
So what
again,
is-
that would be scheduled at a later date as well.
So what are you talking about when it comes to curriculum? What are you referencing? Because this says curriculum and strategic plan.
Latoya?
Don't they go hand in hand?
No, they don't. They absolutely don't. Not in my opinion. The curriculum is a systemic look of how services are delivered to our students. The strategic plan is a 30,000-foot look of what we want to do over a 6-year period of time. Those are radically different perspectives, in my opinion.
Well, as far as the curriculum, I haven't heard much about it. I know it was something brought up.
So let me ask you a question. If you haven't heard much about it, why are we having a conversation about modifying the system? Wouldn't it be best to understand it first? And the same goes for strategic plan. There's been no evaluation about...
To us.
Pardon me?
It was given to us. Nothing has been given to us or spoken on it in detail.
I think that the teachers presented some data tonight that would certainly speak otherwise.
There's data that shows other things.
This is really the outcome of our students' performance based on the curriculum components. And curriculum isn't just pieces of paper. It's not stuff. It's a delivery system.
Would you agree overall, though, that we should schedule this and start discussing everything overall, academics?
Well, before we schedule something, I would really like to understand what is the objective and what is the scope, because quite frankly, that's the issue that I have with what's been going on here. I could give you a dozen examples of things of this nature where this board has made motions without having an understanding of what it is that's expected to get done. And now we're saying that nothing has been done on the strategic plan, yet there's been no evaluation of the existing strategic plan to provide that evidence that in fact you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying, where's the evaluation? Where's your data that proves that you've done that? You haven't. And I guess I personally take exception when you make blanket statements that nothing has been done. I think there's evidence quite the contrary.
Didn't you say that it had never, as far as this strategic plan, that it had never been
I have not said that.
signed or, what was that comment that you made?
I don't know. Are you trying to fabricate something that I didn't say?
No, you did.
Oh,
You did.
I guess, quite frankly, I'm being very guarded about what I say at this table anymore because it's being taken out of context and brought back to this table as a weapon, and I don't appreciate it. All I'm asking for is for us to have a clear understanding of what it is that we're asking for.
Well, we look at the strategic plan that they gave us, the handout.
Have we ever reviewed it publicly?
No, we haven't, and it's coming.
So how are we able to?
Expired next year, and we haven't even discussed renewing it or redoing it. We haven't talked about anything. I didn't even know about a strategic plan until I took the class and asked about it. That's when the conversation about the strategic planning came up in August when I asked. This is
Okay. Somebody from the community.
expired and next year. This
All right.
is
Well, let me share with you something, because something came up. Somebody in the community said I voted no about providing some metrics to the Board of Education on a weekly, monthly, and all those other intervals. And the reason I said no was because I asked for there to be a confab with the board president and the superintendent to discuss what would be mutually beneficial for them and for the school board. And I was told, quite frankly and point blank, I'm going to do this. And that's what happened. So, yes, I'm pushing back. And I'm pushing back for a reason, because quite frankly, we need to understand what's going on here.
Can you clarify what you're pushing back on? You're pushing back on the recommended action for this at this time?
I think it's premature if you don't know what you want to get done.
So you're pushing back to not schedule a discussion for curriculum or strategic plan, either or, at a later date.
If we are only talking about a discussion at this board level without MSB, that's fine. The strategic plan is not free.
So for recommended action is a discussion to be scheduled at a later date within the first quarter
And you said that
2026.
MASB.
Hopefully we can get a lot going and done within that first quarter.
I think you're really occupied with
So
things.
overall, the recommended action is just to schedule this at a later date.
And you used the words MASB.
Just letting you know that it would be nice to bring them in as well to do more information.
They said it didn't help them.
Strategic. So overall, what is at hand and what is written right there?
It says, your recommended action is to be scheduled at a later date within the first quarter of 2026. What is to be scheduled?
A discussion.
That's not what's said. That's not what's written.
That's what our discussion is right now. It's a discussion, Bob. And are you going to get pushed on a discussion to schedule any type of either of these items?
Well, I'm just asking for clarification. So you're saying we will do a discussion as a board independently of MASB before we schedule them?
That's it. Said it more than once.
Okay.
Clarification on your pushback still?
Thank you. You can proceed.
Any other questions? Hearing none. Robin?
Ms. Morales?
Yes.
Mrs. Bramsey?
yes.
Ms. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Irby?
Yes.
Mrs. Bieshke?
Yes.
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Swatsky?
Yes.
We have 7 votes yes, 0 votes opposed.
Number 10, recommended action for the SNAP benefits was to remove from the agenda completely as no longer needed at this time due to the state benefits being released. This originally was placed on the agenda by Castillo.
So moved. Support.
Any discussion in regards to SNAP benefits being removed off the agenda? Hearing none, Robin?
Ms. Morales?
Yes.
Mrs. Breezy?
Yes.
Ms. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Zerby?
Yes.
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Sawatsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Bieshki?
Yes.
7 votes yes, 0 opposed.
Item number 11 is to vote on scheduling a special meeting on December 19th at 5 p.m. for the 31AA if needed because of the fact of the state and litigation. We'll have more information as of the 18th. So there's a motion to actually schedule that meeting. If there's any questions or this was actually suggested and brought up by Principal Hall, that all of the information will be given to them, and we can hold that meeting, if needed, on the 19th. We already voted to opt in, and also recommendation by Member Lang to hold another meeting if need, or to schedule another meeting if needed.
Question of clarification, what are the criterion by which it would not be scheduled?
I can hear you.
What's the criterion for not attend or not having it? Because we're saying if needed, I'd like to understand what it is that would cause it to be needed or not needed. Do we know?
So once the court renders its ruling, if the board will need to take a look at that ruling, and if they feel that it's not suitable for the district to continue with the opt-in, it would need to come together to use the opt-out option.
Okay. Will we have legal opinion in time for that meeting on the 19th?
Yeah, because it's supposed to come that afternoon of the 19th.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So if the attorney can get, back with you all, or whoever the contact person is, and share, and that information is disseminated out quickly, then yes.
Okay, thank you.
Recommended action is to actually schedule the meeting for the 19th as needed.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion in regards to that? Everyone understands that.
Yeah, but instead of 5, can we make it 5:30? So we all can attend?
Any objections moving it to 5:30?
No.
Okay with that?
Mr. Hall, would you be available?
Yes.
Yeah, 5:30. So recommended action now is to move the meeting to 5:30.
So moved.
Support.
Who was the second? Aaron?
Either one of us, it don't matter.
You both at the same time? Yeah. Any other discussion? Questions? Hearing none, Robin?
Mr. Sawatsky?
Yes.
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Mrs. Bieshki?
Yes.
Ms. Zerby?
Yes.
Ms. Castillo?
Yes.
Mrs. Breezy?
Yes.
Mrs. Morales?
Yes.
7 votes yes, 0 votes opposed.
Item number 12, the consent agenda. We actually still have October 2025 check register, October 2025 board report, October 27th board briefing and informational session minutes, November's check register, November's board report, November's business meeting minutes, personnel report, November 21st special meeting minutes, and December 1st special meeting minutes as presented. Recommended actions to move to approve this consent agenda.
So move.
Can we get a second?
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion on those? Hearing none, Robin?
Mrs. Bieshke,
Yes.
Serby,
Yes.
Ms. Castillo,
Yes.
Mrs. Breezy,
Yes.
Ms. Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Lang,
No.
Mr. Swatsky.
Yes.
We have 6 votes yes and 1 vote opposed.
Consent agenda is passed. Number 13, acting superintendent updates. Sir.
All right, the December 8th entity number account, 1,426. Next on the agenda is the MEM SPA Foundation Scholarship, which was awarded to one of our administrator, Emily Radwin, principal at Thomas White. I want to share with you this correspondence sent to her. Dear Emily, we hope this message finds you well and energized for the great work ahead. We are delighted to share that you have been selected as a recipient of a MEM SPA Foundation Thoughtful Leadership Grant. Your thoughtful reflection and clear aspirations truly stood out, and we are confident this opportunity will be a meaningful investment in both you and your school community. To secure your spot, and since this event starts soon, we encourage you to register for Thoughtful Leaders as soon as possible. Sydney Malik and Robin Rosen Lacer lead this program with great passion and expertise. We are excited for you to partner with them during this powerful learning experience. Your steadfast commitment to the Bridgeport community has not gone unnoticed. We are grateful for your leadership, your heart, and your dedication to making a difference every day. While the work of a principal brings both challenges and celebrations, we hope this moment serves as a well-deserved highlight. Congratulations once again on this recognition. Should any questions arise, or if you need anything along the way, please don't hesitate to reach out. With appreciation and excitement, your friends at the MEM SPA Foundation. So we can, in her absence, just give Principal Emily Redwine a round of applause. Would be much appreciated. Next on the agenda is the school index update. This letter comes from the State of Michigan Department of Education, dated November 20th, 2025. As referenced in the most recent accountability and support memorandum from Dr. Carnell, Interim State Superintendent, Michigan Department of Education, and I'll be further saying MDE, is required to run its federal state accountability system, the Michigan School Index, to fulfill all of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, as amended by the Every Student Success Act of 2015. Additional information and resources about the Michigan School Index can be found on the MDE website. Based on the school index results, one or more schools in Bridgeport-Spartan Community School District was identified for the Comprehensive Support and Improvement, which is CSI, or the Targeted School of Improvement, which is TSI, and the district has met specific criteria to be assigned by the state superintendent as a partnership district described in section 388.1622P. The Office of the Partnership Districts, which I'll further say, the OPD, provides timely and targeted comprehensive support to partnership districts. The support provided will be determined by the district's comprehensive needs assessment. Each partnership district is assigned a partnership agreement liaison, which I'll be further calling the PAL, the PAL, from the OPD. The PAL is responsible for supporting the district in the development and implementation of its partnership agreement, which includes helping to resolve problems, break down barriers, and facilitate discussions. The PAL ensures that the partnership districts receive maximum support for success from MDE, identified partners, and other state agencies. The PAL also provides support to the district for schools identified for CSI not in the partnership agreement, additional targeted support, ATS, and targeted school and improvement, TSI, within the district. A partnership district is required to enter a 3-year partnership agreement to improve student achievement as described in section 388.1622P. This agreement is developed under the leadership of the District Superintendent of Public Schools Academy, the PSA leader, the local school board, the PSA authorizer if applicable, the district's immediate school board, District Regional Educational Service Agency, which is the ISD or RESA leader, and the partnership agreement liaison. Also, according to this section, a partnership district has 90 days from the date of assignment, November 20, 2025, to have a signed partnership agreement in place. PALS will provide technical assistance for completing this agreement. And it goes on. If you want me to continue to read the process, I can. All right, okay.
You just get a copy of that for all the word, please.
I will, yeah. So we have a partnership district agreement scheduled for December 10, 2025 at 10 a.m. We have 2 schools in the district that fall under that category. Bridgeport Spalding Community High School, Bridgeport Spalding Middle School has been identified as a TSI school with targeted support and improvement. And so what does that mean? The school is identified for targeted support and improvement in 2024-2025 due to the following student subgroups being below the 25 percentile. There's more information on that. I can give you all that right there. And then Bridgeport Spalding Community High School has been identified for comprehensive support and improvement. And so we have 2 schools in the district that will need to partner with the state for planning. So I'll leave it up for questioning at this time, and I can elaborate.
So this is mandatory? I mean, the state is basically saying, because you said there's a December 10th, and we have 90 days from November 20th to reply, but, or I'm not sure if that's correct. Can you, basically the state is saying we have to be monitored for, is it 90 days or the 3 years?
3 years for the high school. The state will partner with the district to come up with standards for that. For the middle school, it's going to be incumbent upon the district to come up with its own plan to move that.
So the state's not over the middle school at this time?
It depends on,
They are.
well, yes,
They are.
yes, but the middle school has the autonomy to build its own plan to get out.
Gotcha. So it can be less than the 3 years?
Yes.
Under is it NWEA scores? Or you said target and comprehensive?
Well, there's several areas, subgroups, and I can bring those. I can share those subgroups with you, with the board. So the participation and assessment, so this is for the middle school. So they rate you at a participation of assessment. What that means is for the M-STEP, you need 100% participation. That means that every student must take that right there. And that was an area that it was, that we did not hit the growth of.
Make sure you know that one student was out because he has cancer. Yes. He was in the hospital. That's why he didn't take the M-STEP.
Okay, you don't have to report that to me. I'm on your side.
Just saying, I want the board to know.
Okay, all right. African American male growth and proficiency. So those are two. It didn't say male. I apologize. Just say Black and African American growth and Black and African American proficiency. So that was for the middle school. For the high school, it was the index rate of, very small. For overall growth and the graduation percentage. And I can elaborate. I can elaborate or answer any questions in regards to that.
You mentioned something happening on December 10th. What's that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, good question. So that is our partnership webinar. So to be clear, we look at the date of recipient of the letter, which is November the 20th, and there's 90 days for the district to respond to that. But we have already accepted, at the high school, we have already accepted the 10th date to have that partnership, to begin that partnership.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So is this something that just comes about, or is this something that the state will forewarn you about, that the district is not performing well? To like maybe give chances to correct, improve?
Yeah, there's many areas, and the goal is to stay out of as many areas as possible. So it's when you know you have some weak areas, and you know it's going to be hard to meet the state's requirements for them, you look at other areas to try to make sure that you meet those areas. And it can change from. So I'll give you an example of the high school. So we were critical in 3 areas that didn't put us on the radar. We had 1 year to where graduation information was not submitted properly, and that dinged us. However, we were able to get that information submitted, but it was submitted past the deadline. For the last 3 years, BHS's graduation rate has increased. And BHS's graduation last year was 84.5%. Okay? Now somebody might say, well, wow, 84.5%, that's pretty good based on 100%, okay? And I would agree. But the state says that you need 100%. The state says you need 100%. The state expects you to graduate 100% of your students, and if you don't graduate 100% of your students, you need to have documentation of where that student went. Does that make sense? So when a group of 9th graders come in, they become the class of 2028, 2029, all right? In 2029, if any of those students aren't there, all right, you better have documentations on where they are, okay? Now, the thing about that is if a student moves out of state, because out of state student numbers and Michigan numbers don't match up. So you're going to automatically lose off that 100% right there. Unless you have some secretaries that can do their due diligence and hound that out-of-state school and show that that's where that school is at, that student is at. Does that make sense? All right. So it's all about being able to track those individuals right there and be able to prove it.
Principal Hunt, you had mentioned that you had, I don't know if you were just using as an example, X number of targeted areas. I think you said 30.
Yes. Well,
was that just an example, or were those actually presented to you?
No, these are your my school areas, period. So what you're going to have, I'll share it with you all. What you're going to have is what's called what you're going to have is your growth index. So that's straight. They're all academics.
Right.
All right. So you're going to have your growth index. That's academics. You're going to have when you're 9 through 12. So obviously no K through 12 has this particular one. It will say NA, but 9 through 12 will have your graduation rate index. Okay. And then you have your school quality and student success index, which is encompass several different things in that category, and I can break that down if need be. Then you got your proficiency index. So you have a growth index and you have a proficiency index. And then if you have enough English learners in the district, you will have that as well. We don't have enough here, so we're not. That's not something. So really, kind of the more that you have, in a sense. Some people say it helps you, some people say it can hurt you. And then the last but not least is the assessment participation. And that assessment participation is at the high school level, it's the SAT, and those series, those work keys at the 11th grade level. At the middle school level, it's the MSTEP, and elementary level, it's the MSTEP. And so it's 100% expected on that. 100% expected on your they're all 100%. They're all based on 100 percentile.
And so you've been working on them and you got it down to 1? Is that correct?
No, I don't understand your question. Go ahead. No.
You've been working on these because you said you were notified ahead of time on the target areas.
Yes.
So you've been working on them to try to bring it down.
Yeah, so what you want to do is, and I'll use the high school as an example. So when you got a low growth index or a low proficiency index, you got to calculate it in there. So you want to increase your graduation rate. You want to make sure that your assessment participation rate is strong, and you want to make sure that your school quality and student success index is strong right there, because they're all they go mathematically to give you your overall. Okay, and the state has these qualifiers that you must hit, okay? So they want you to have 100% of graduation rate, but they won't ding you if it is, I think it's 93%. So they go off, they want you to have 100%, but they go off statewide, and I believe it's 93%. So if you are at 93%, that you won't get dinged for that.
How long have you been working on it?
This is
You were
a,
notified with the fact, is that what,
say that question again, I'm sorry.
so for these targeted areas that you knew that the state was looking at, possibly coming in to what they call it, a partnership, 3 years? When were you notified of that?
Last year, well, you know last year, the year when you plug them in, when they tell you your information, so a school would know last year. So in this case, so even though this is dated November the 20th, as an administrator, and we know last year, we know the year
You're
before.
able to work with it and knock those 3 years down, for sure.
Yeah. And if you work towards it, so the state is being flexible where a person can get out of there. There was a list of schools that the state released that got off of the CSI list in less than 3 years, and that's the goal there. Because what they do is they tell you a year before, so you can plan for this year. So even though an official correspondence came out in November, we knew that we were on that list. And last year, we were working to address any of those issues.
Thank you. Anyone have any other question?
Didn't this happen once before? Who was the seniority trustees on the board?
Are you asking when I was here, was I here when they were in a priority status?
Yeah.
Yes.
Were they able to get out before the full time?
That was actually where Mr. Whelton's introduction to the school district happened, as I remember.
It wasn't for finance, that was for academics?
Yes.
All right. So is this the same thing then? We're back in the exact same thing, or no, this is different?
No, it's slightly different. However, you never want MDE to come in and have to be in a situation like this. You never want MDE to be, like this. And so I don't want to go off script, but I'm going to go off script, and then you all have to punish me later. Irregardless of how someone may feel about me accepting this appointment as acting superintendent, when you know that you have 2 out of your 4 schools where the state is already about to come in, you don't want the ISD or the state to come in and have to be in the role of superintendent. Because now you got eyes on the 2 schools that are being overlooked, and then you got possibly someone that's sitting at the helm of that is out of the district and do not have the best interests. Well, I ain't gonna say they don't have the best interests of the district. Let me scratch that. But they're not an internal person that really wants to see these things change around quickly. I will say that.
Thank you. Anything else for Paul?
So was this where the scheduled later date of the strategic plan and the curriculum would help.
Well, yeah, now you gotta make it, there needs to be conversation now about the strategic plan. Because now, it's unfortunate, but it's kind of like, this is forced on us. So you can come up with a the board can come up, or the district can come up with a strategic plan, but the state's gonna tell you now what's gonna be part of that plan when it comes to the high school. They're gonna tell you what it is, and they're gonna say part of your strategic plan is to make sure also that you move this middle school. So if that's not introduced and put in that strategic plan, we will continue to find ourselves being looked at, being observed by MDE. So when you all come together and discuss your strategic plan, it's going to be imperative that you know what the state is requiring.
Thank you for sharing that. Anything else from Principal Hall? Bob, your comment?
I'm good.
Aaron?
None.
And Toya?
Yeah, Liz left. She was the one who was doing this, information that came out from the school, like the emails that we get as a district. Was that Liz who was doing that? And she was here? I don't know.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Like the district emails that come out, announcing PTO meetings, to everyone. Was that Liz who did that?
I think so.
Okay.
Some of that.
She's not here, so who does that now? Who stepped in for her?
I'm not sure who sent those,
So-
messages out.
When did we start announcing publicly, of student expulsions? Cause I got a email, I got a notification saying special meeting, but then it also stated of a student's expulsion, and I just never seen that before. Just wanted to know, why did that happen? Seems like that's like an invasion of privacy.
No, this is a public meeting and they have to be
That's never
posted.
been posted.
So as long as we're not violating FERPA with the student information,
No personal information.
which, no personal information, no violation of FERPA has been made, to my knowledge. I didn't see anything, so I don't know. There would be no names, there would be no information, specific information. But I mean, yes, this is the first time we have ever, publicly announced an expulsion hearing.
It's not the first
So,
time.
but the parents knew they were gonna be kept, everything was gonna be kept private. Robin assured them,
Right.
don't worry, no matter what was said or anything, everything was private.
Well, this expulsion hearing is a special meeting, so I had to post a special meeting on the window.
Mm-hmm.
And then the special meeting is posted on the website in the folder, but I don't know.
An expulsion one, yeah, we just wanna be mindful.
There would be no names, nothing at all. But I don't know why or how it came
For the first
differently than
time.
it normally does. I don't know.
I can tell you why, honestly, if you'd like.
Wanna have an objection?
No.
Go ahead.
So, Miss Mary, who was using a Google Drive, that she would have these, so if you look at like the minutes, for example, the latest minutes on the website are October 27th, which is accurate. I can't adjust her Google Drive file, she was using a Google Drive, that she would just add a link to the next minutes to. So we took down a job posting, and I can't edit that file, I had to download it, and I kinda covered it up with some whiteout, and reposted it, but I don't have access to her Google Drive, or I don't know if there was I'll talk to Mr. Hall about it, I guess, but I haven't done anything with the website since like 2020. And I got asked to and I said I'm just doing the procedural stuff. So if there was a PTO thing that didn't get sent out, I didn't know there was something that was supposed to be sent out, so I apologize. If anything comes up.
No, the PTO was sent out, but
We'll let Paul take that then,
What's that?
in regards to,
Well,
I had the same question.
I had never seen that.
Yeah, I had the same question in my 4 years here being involved. I know that it wasn't, so I know that it isn't a violation based on how it was done, but as a 2-week acting superintendent, I had the question of what was going on. I did. So.
we'll have you look into that in regards to access, in regards to what is posted, and make sure that FERC was not violated, make sure that we're just having continuity to avoid risks. Right? Okay. All right, Brady.
I think to clarify, like our only concern is that now we have to sneak these students and parents that want a closed session meeting through a side door so they're not embarrassed to be seen, and then we have to take action against them later on. It's not about not having transparency, it's about protecting these children.
I can understand. I just posted what I was told to post.
Right, no, we're not
Yeah, the
blaming
school
you, we
has-
didn't know who posted it, but it's different.
The school has posted it in the past, I've covered them.
Well, we post it, but we don't send out reminders and invites for the public to come, because we invited people to sit, but they only seen us for a minute, and then we went into closed session. So.
Now, let's just talk about continuity and risk. I mean, I'm absolutely positive there was no malicious intent to absolutely embarrass the kids or, cause any type of FERPA. Like I said, that's all. Looked at very carefully. Robin was really good to take care of and talk to the parent. So, no problem whatsoever. Thank you though for that. And, okay, were you good?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you want to go ahead with your board comment?
All right, so I'm gonna read this. This is just my thoughts. Everybody's been asking. So I'm gonna try my best to not get emotional about what I'm saying. Good evening to everyone. My name is Carmen Castillo. For those of you that don't know, I am a community member, a PTO parent, and my most important role is a mother of 5 children. My oldest graduated from here last year. I have a senior this year and 2 more in this district. I had prepared to speak at the last working meeting we had after the vote, but as you may already know, that time did not come. Instead, the table was rushed. I, along with my fellow board members, were escorted by police to our vehicles for our safety. I then went home and had to install cameras around my house in fear that some of the people who have continued to share my address and spew hate or lies don't show up to my doorstep. My job as a mother is to keep my children safe, and that night I felt I was failing them. But it doesn't stop there, because the next day I had to get up the courage to send my children to school and pray that the same teachers or staff members that chased me that night prior did not treat my children any different. To anyone denying the event that took place, we are lucky that the school has cameras everywhere, so unedited footage cannot be found. Now I'm going to share my point of view and reasoning behind my actions. To do this, I must share Ms. Morales does not control my vote. I have tried to see everyone's point of view. I've spoken to Mr. Ling at every meeting to let him know my concerns, and he shared that at this point, he feels like just approve and move on. But that is not good enough for me. My children and the children of this district deserve the opportunity to learn and grow all the way through as a Bearcat. Student achievement does matter at all levels in this district. To say a good guy is enough for us, well, it's not. I think you are misunderstanding. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm saying he's lacking the capacity to give student achievement extraordinary levels, and he's had 7 years to do so. Our superintendent has been given the ability to wear so many hats in this district that he does not feel as though that he has to work with the board as a whole. And that in itself is wrong. When does conflict of interest come into play? He is our human resource. He does the hiring and firing. He is our curriculum director. He is negotiating on behalf of the district and recently the CFO. How do we as a board or district give a person so much to do and abilities with no expectations? He has had a strategic plan, essentially a blueprint of how to get this district back on track. He has not fully met one thing in 7 years. Examples include our roof was replaced, but we still have leaks. Our test scores have been stagnant or decreased. Now the state is coming in. Safety. 2 board members since January have talked about metal detectors instead of knocking down walls and adding cosmetic features that we voted down when the budget was still not concrete. We do need something for safety. There are only 2 sets of doors between the outside and our students, and in some cases, just 1. There are 3, not including the one to his office, if you can even find it. But I say all this to say, if you really wanted what is best for our students, you would be in agreement. Change needs to occur. Before I end, I also would like the Bridgeport community that is for this recall to realize next year, not only will you be paying at least $50,000 or more for a special election, but you will also be asked for a raise in taxes to support the sinking fund that will be on the ballot. So hopefully you're prepared to support the district all the way through. Our students' future depends on it.
Oh, we're prepared.
Thank you.
Tammy?
Yeah, I do. She's right about the leaks on the roof, but she's not, let me talk, okay? But if she read the email, that Amy had an email to Mark saying, stop spending money, when he had that list down there and the roof was on there to be fixed. Amy, in that email, told Mark to stop spending. So that's why the leak in the roof did not finish getting fixed. There's other things on that email that Mark wanted fixed. Amy told him, stop spending money. So how can he fix something if Amy's not allowing him to do that?
How long has the roof been leaking?
He just got it fixed. He had it fixed, what, a year and a half ago, Bob?
The roofs on all
And
the
then
buildings
he
have
had
been
to finish
replaced in
it,
the
but
last
Amy
couple
told
of years.
him to stop spending money. It's right in that email. Look at your emails.
And, yep, let her finish.
Okay?
Yeah.
So in that part, now, her address should not be out to the public. I never seen it myself, so I don't know where. And her email, or her address is on there? They are, so ours is. Oh, okay. All right, so it's just not Carmen's, it's everybody's. Okay, so they're not, okay, I thought it was somebody's putting her address out there and say, no, that's wrong, but all of our addresses out there, so.
But the way that they were being shared.
Post her address, their address.
So who's sharing her address, I guess, is my concern, 'cause I never, if somebody's sharing her address, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't want my address shared, but if it's out there for the public, well, you know, it's on the district website.
Can someone pull up the district
Oh, yeah.
website and show her?
Yeah.
We know it's on the district website, but it was being shared outside of the district website, and people were told to do with that information as they will. So I'm gonna take that as
public
a threat.
records?
I have kids at my home.
And if you were so concerned about them, you
So,
would just
hold
stand
on,
down.
Tammy, are you done? Let Tammy finish. Let Tammy finish. Tammy, are you good? This is board comment. Tammy, go ahead.
All right, so like I said, a lot of things she said about Mark's is, a lot of it wasn't true. I mean, we all know Mark has made a lot of changes here. We all know he was stopped to fix this leaks. But I don't like and I have done it myself, personal attacks. I mean, like Amy, when she came up, I knew she was an attorney. And if an attorney comes up and she's Mark's attorney, you should have just found out who she was before telling her and cut her off. That she had the right to come up and say something because she was an attorney. So that's what I mean. There's no right communication going on with anybody here. And it's wrong. I mean, what's going on here with Mark should not even been happening. It shouldn't have been happening at all. And it just got all of us in an uproar, all of us against each other.
How can we as a community
You good,
function?
Tammy?
It's not right. But I don't share addresses. Now I'm gonna be freaking out and looking at there to see if my address is shared, you know? Because it's not right. If it's public, if it's on the website, then tell people if you want, you know, they can go there, it's public, but to share it, I just, that part is wrong. But Amy, everybody feels that you're the one that started this with want to get Mark out of here. It is a personal vendetta, and I don't know what's going on, but this should have never, ever happened. I'm done.
Okay, Miss Lucy. Do you have a comment?
Yes, I do.
Okay, pull that closer down to you, please.
Short.
The microphone.
Yes, it's gonna be short. My name is Lucy Irby. I'm an elected official, and I've been accused of not speaking out, but my vote is my voice. I do not have anything else to say, but I voted no on Superintendent Mark Whelton's entire contract renewal. My concern is what the school district is going to do about academics. What about sports? My son and my daughter graduated from Bridgeport. Our township cannot build or develop what the district scores in sports. No one will move here. No one will bring their kids here. If the school district closes, who loses? The voters, community, kids. We don't want that to be another school system that's non-existent. Need I say any more? I'm praying for all of you, and I do love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. So everyone on the board has their opinion. Everyone on the board, and that's good to be versatile, and it's good, I said that before, that everyone should bring something to the table. It's good to have differences of opinions. It's good to try to see how we can better this in general. I believe everyone has stated that's why they've come to the board, because our kids go to school here. We live here, and so obviously, you're right, Lucy, if we were to close down, who loses? We're still gonna live here, our children will be impacted, because overall, everyone's opinion matters. My opinion is just as good as your opinion. And the fact that my daughter's education is just as good, is actually important to the fact where, like Carmen says, she has her children here and they matter. So for a board member to be attacked and for us to go against normal process of all board, Robert's rules, we go against all the time, that's not anything good at all. So for an internal distribution to all board members in regards to a current crisis communication, I'm gonna give you these, pass it around, pass it down, and you do with it as you will. It is for the board, basically to read this in regards to the do and don't guide for current crisis communication. So the do's are stay consistent with the board's message, respect confidentiality, uphold professionalism, direct inquiries appropriately, monitor your digital footprint, document what should be documented, focus on the students and the district mission. A don't is don't share confidential information, don't engage in social media arguments, don't speak to the media without authorization, don't make personal attacks, don't deviate from the board's unified message, don't overpromise or predict investigation results, don't allow emotions to drive decisions. There's a lot there, do what you want with it, read that through if you want, but we're gonna have this entered in as for, I'll give you, can you take that down to Robin? I'm sorry, as well. Yeah.
Minute?
Oh, she has one? Oh.
No, I don't have one.
Oh, here.
It's going in the
There you
minute?
go, yes, thank you. So now that the state has taken over, we've been trying to get this, hopefully we can get something in order. Hopefully we don't have to stay in this the 3 years. Hopefully for both the middle school and the high school, we can take care of this. Again, that is the biggest thing right now we should do. Try to get out of this thing so it's not monitored for the 3 years. We are adjourned.
Chaotic.